Hello and welcome to our Minecraft Hardcore World. I'm Doom Mountain and this is episode 18 from our world. I'm standing over here at our docks, which we built up last episode, where we have our lovely sort of display of sort of foreign items which have come in from offland shores, as well as a lovely fishing hut house, which is currently unfurbished, but it will be. We've got a lovely little pond there behind us, as well as the start of, if I go this way, our quarantine entrance, and a lovely fish tank, which, guys, I don't think I showed this, but I think towards the end of the last episode I found these. We do now have some tropical fish inside of our aquarium, and the pufferfish don't seem to be hurting them, so yeah, it looks like this is going to be a nice little just feature to have down here. But guys, as we discussed towards the end of last episode, I do need to start working a bit better on just time management to get these episodes out rather than projects, and we had to cut short the builds that you were doing last episode. So what I'm thinking is that we might actually just, wander up to the top area there and start building our guard entrance sort of tower for the village, as well as the quarantine build for when everything's been all cleared. So let's head on up there now. Alright guys, so we're up here now in the designated area where I thought would look really good to set up our sort of guard entrance tower to sort of, check the people that are coming into the village to make sure, we don't have any raids or any ungood intentionals just coming through. We want this place to be somewhere where we can have everything checked up and all that sort of stuff. So I was thinking right here, sort of before the entrance of like the docks, so people have to still come up and they got to go through this area before they can really enter into the village. If they want to get to the village on the other side, they kind of have to go through our homestead, so, we're acting as, like, protectors as well, so we don't need to go that far against it, yeah. But let's get started with our build over here. Now, I was thinking that we might use for this some bricks, some granite, some polished granite, as well as our spruced logs, and it's probably going to be the stripped variety. Now, I want this because we do have some builds where they are very sort of stoned base, as you can see from down there, and as well as what we did for our fishing hut, but we also have a few buildings which do incorporate brickwork, sort of the other skill that our mason triplets have. Now, I want to use this, use this palette for this build here, because I'm thinking that it might be what we end up going with for our grand library up on the hill there. So I think it might be nice to be able to see it tied in at the entrance as well as up on the hill peak. So with that in mind, this is what I want to sort of use the palette for. This is the space we've got here, and I'm thinking that I'm really just going to sort of stretch this out for us. So I think we need a nice big sort of reasonable space, maybe even just sort of clip back this hill work. If we just trim this back a little bit, then we might be able to just get away with building something up here nicely. And I think we might want to build this on a larger sort of scale. So just like with our fisherman's hut, that thing, it's a little bit bigger than some of our normal villager houses that we've got around here. So I think we need to incorporate that sort of same feel for the area over here where it's going to be guarding. So it's getting a little bit dark now. Let me go quickly sleep away the night, because, that's how we survive. If I sleep away the night, maybe get out the sort of the blueprints, sort of just the lining of what we're going to do, and then I'll bring you back in. So I'll see you, in the morning. Alright guys, so it is the next day, and we have now got our lovely sort of skeleton shape for our building. Now what I'm thinking is, as you can see here, we have a nice stairwell that's going to come up from the path, and then we have two sort of wings for this area, an east and a west wing, where we might have some people that, they've come through and we know that they've got bad intentions, so we might set up like a little bit of a jail cell, a holding cell, as well as maybe just having a bit of an office space, and maybe going up and having a second level where the two wings sort of connect as one. But for now, we've got it nice and laid out here, but it is making it a bit hard with a hollow floor. So it's time now to go around with our jungle slabs and just place in the flooring and, be able to start building up from here. So let me just get these all down now. Alright guys, now that we have a sturdy floor to be able to stand on and actually start working up and building up this building, I think we maybe start putting in our walls. So we'll start off by going probably up 5, I reckon. It's usually our good go-to points. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll just sort of surround that on all of these perimeters and then go through and fill in our wall. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be like that. I think if we do a second story, I'm only going to do it on the side closest to the village, because you see how we've got this little U dip in there. Like, I think maybe if we have this entrance here as like the entrance office where you come through, declare everything, then over here on the, I want to say, west side of the world, on the west wing, let's go with that, is going to be where the prisoners might be kept, and then we'll have above there as in a sleeping quarters for the guards. It's going to be watching over all times of the day and night, so yeah, they've got a spot to sleep. So I think what I might do is just go around now, put in some of the wall work, and yeah, hopefully once we get the frame in nicely, we'll just be doing the roof, and then we can start working on the quarantine area down the road. Jesus Christ, that scared me. Alright guys, so if I quickly swing around now, you can see that we do have our sort of second layer built up over onto that west wing of the guard tower house build thingy, whatever you want to call it. We do need to now go through and start adding in the detail. As you can see, we've spaced out where all our windows are going to be. I've broken up the little section between on the east wing with the little stairs and the bricks and the granite to sort of separate between the stone, all that brick layer, as well as going into that oak section, which we then continued on for the second layer in the west wing. Now we spin along round, we can see that these are very nice and sort of spacious rooms. We do have to now go along and put in the roof on all of these sections, which well, it's not going to be too hard. For, as you can see with all the ones we've done, we've gone around with a, if I just break up here a little bit, just go ahead and place up that, and then we just sort of run along each side with our we run along with our steps going like this, and then we introduce on a slightly next level up the half slabs to sort of give a little bit of a lift in our roof. So I'm going to run around now and just quickly do all of that, and then it's time to actually build the A-frame of our roof, and hopefully I have enough kelp blocks ready to be able to start putting it on. Otherwise I'll just continuously add them on during the episode. Alright, let me quickly get this on and then we'll start working on the A-frame for our roof. Alright, and that now makes roof number 3. So everything now in here has a nice interior roof. Nothing has any decoration or anything yet, but I think it's time that we can kick off starting up the A-frame. So let's jump over onto the roof. Out through the window. Out. Alright, so I think what it might be a good idea is to start off building up the A-frame for the second leveled roof, because that way once we get this one into size, we know how it's all going to look. We can then nice and easily add in the bottom layer angled and then the other direction, and I think that might help us space out everything nicely. So what I'm doing now is making a little corner shape to sort of simulate how, you know, our normal roofs would look like without having that little bit of a cutaway there as this one has, and then sort of going to start layering it out. So we'd have normally about here, and then I reckon, yeah, I don't think we need to go out too much to have a big deep cut. So let's just cut into there, and we'll start off nice and simply with our pretty much standard one where we go up a few, throw in a few blocks, and yeah. So let me just quickly get that done for you now. Alright guys, as you can see, we have now set up our frame for the larger roof of the two. Now what I want to do is go off over back down here and build up the second one, and then we can start adding in this joining roof for this little peak here. So now what will be important is to make sure that when we go off onto our center bit here, that we make sure we also do it in line probably about here. Oh wait, no, here. Yes, to make sure that it equals up with the whole sort of each side of the roof. So I think, well, that's a bad start. But yeah, so you guys kind of get the point now. I think what I'm going to do is just finish off this roof here, and then hopefully when I bring it back in, we'll have this whole roof lovely finished. I'll go through and add in all of the jungle wood decorations that we usually do, like the trapdoors and the fences and all that sort of stuff. And then we'll be working on our quarantine sort of clearance area. So I'll bring you back in when we're up to that part. See you soon. Alright guys, so as you can see from behind me, I managed to get quite a nice amount of the kelp up there for the roof, but for that second roof there you can see that we ran out and it was taking so long to try and get any more, so it's time I think that we just move on to the next section of it. Now I will make a little disclaimer right now guys, I have since the last clip done a little bit of a clean up of my room and the mic is in a different location, so I really hope that it's still like a nice clear sort of transition between the last volume settings of the mic to the new ones, but yeah, you know, let me know in the comments if it's too much, I need to go back to the other way, or if it's all good. But yep, alright, now that we've got that out of the way, let's have a quick look over with this house here, and then we'll go over and start building up our all cleared quarantine zone. Alright, now that we're down here off the tree, you can see that we've still got no interior work done. Like, guys, I swear, we're going to just do one episode where all the interior of every building gets done, so just, it's going to happen, just not today. But you can see now that we've got all these flower pots up and around, and you just kind of have to use your imagination that this doesn't break the imagination that that's a full box. Just trust me guys, it's a full box. But I really like how it sort of helps break away from a bit of the sort of darker, dull colours of the build, and it gives a bit of that greener breakthrough with all the leaves. I even tried for this building adding in a bit of the vines on the roof, and I'm kind of liking it, so I might go through and even add it into some of our other builds a little bit later on. Now, I do need to put in just the last little bit of glass panes in the windows up there, but I'll get that done as we finish up the roof over here. And yeah, that's this building pretty well much done. I'm really happy with how it came up. I think I'm going to keep it with this non-strip spruce because it's a little bit different and it stands out as, well, why is this one different? Well, it's got a bit more importance to our entrance and our security, so it's a little bit different of a building. No, I didn't forget to do it and put vines everywhere, and I don't want to change it all up. That's not true at all. It's for importance. Yes. Alright, so whether or not I forgot to strip them or not, let's start on with this new little build here, which is going to be where once the items have come in off the ships and they've served their sort of quarantine time to make sure there's no bugs or anything that's going to come in and affect our crops or our village over here, this is the area where it's going to be. And I think that, as you can see here, we've got a lovely little sort of drop chute which leads us down to here where we built up and showed off last episode. So my thoughts is if we build up sort of a frame around this like we did with our well just up there, and then have it as sort of a hollow empty section in the middle, and then we can have a set of pulleys that maybe lift up the floor of the ground and brings up all the goods, and then once it's up to this level here, people can come up, collect them up, place them onto the shelves of an area here where then somebody's on guard watching up for everyone to get up their goods. That's a rough idea, and it's what I'm thinking. So I think what we should just start with is quite possibly just building up the frame over here for what's going to be our initial pulley system to get up all the goods. So yeah, let's work on that. Now, of course that's not going to be the wood that I have here, so let's redo this now. And let's probably, I don't know, 5 seems to be our lucky number, so let's go, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's repeat that on the other 3. Alright, now with all 4 beams up and we've got them connected, now let's just simply build up one of our roof designs over the top of this, and then we can, well, pretty much, besides the kelp, I don't have enough kelp. Kelp is annoying, I've come to realise that. But we should have the lovely frame over here then to start building off around this design. So let's just place it in now. Alright guys, so before I go any further, I did realise that I had made a mistake because this is even, it's not an odd, so I don't have a single centre sort of thing. It might work in our favour though, because we do need a sort of beam that's going to be strong enough to actually support the lifting mechanism of the device. So, I mean, it might work out, and I think it's okay. I added in that little sort of round balling sort of top that I did over on these ones because I did it accidentally over there, but I really like how it looks. So yeah guys, I thought I'd just let you know that always make sure you double count before you just build. Because, yeah, measure twice, cut once, you know that saying? Lesson learned. Alright, so now here's our lovely frame of a roof. It doesn't have any kelp on there yet because kelp takes forever to grow. Anyway, let's now make it look a bit more like these sort of ones here by adding in our jungle stairs and trapdoors as well as our fences. Now, this is mainly just an act of rounding off all the edges as well as sort of giving them a bit more of a tying in. So it looks like here you see we've really sort of connected these beams into the walls and it makes it look a little bit more realistic, or at least it does for me anyway. So I think once we've done that, we can go around the edges here and just place in a bit of the fencing to wall it off. Don't necessarily need it on this edge here, but I think I might just put it anywhere and there anyway, just to sort of keep in with all the rest of the spots there. Now we will have this single one entry line, which I'm thinking might, because what I want to do is I want to use, have we got any here? Yeah. So I want to use like the spruce trap doors as the bed of our sort of words mountain lift. The bed of our lift. I don't think I've said the word lift at all in this episode for what this thing is. Okay, it's a lift. Got it right, mountain. So what I want to do is have the spruce trap doors for the bed of this. It's not going to be at this level here. I want to have it kind of like it's in action, but I want it to still be on this level, as in where the face of the block is, so we can attach the chains on there so it can actually have a pulley system. Now what I'm thinking is, do we want to run a track line out from here, or do we just want to leave it come up flush with the line here, obviously go around, remove all the dirt and have some sort of maybe well, obviously have the, what's that underneath us, the deep slate bricks, yeah, those little, I'm actually trying to point to the screen like you guys can see, try and add those things around the lip here and then really tie it down to the bottom. So I think what we might do now is just add in all of that connecting stuff from down the bottom, and then I'll bring you back in. So hopefully that won't be too long. You realise you just made no sense. Yeah, I tend to do that. It's okay. Just try to think before you talk. Alright guys, so that last clip might not have been the clearest because I confused myself just completely. So I've gone ahead and actually built up the base part down here. So as you can see now, all of our stuff connects all the way back down here. Line runs through here and leads up to where our lift will be. Now I've still got those up there, sort of as I was demonstrating. I wanted them on the top layer level of the block so we could still incorporate a chain. But I think that to sort of show that this thing is active and that so, and have in action, I was thinking that maybe if we come along with something like, do I still have one? Maybe I do. So we'd see, have it sort of laid up on this level here. Then we can connect our chains to it and run them up to a bit of a pulley system which we'll place in up the top here. Now I have gone ahead and continued on the beams all the way down and stripped them too. I think that's just a nice little touch to sort of really tie in that this is cemented into the ground, as you can see here. And it's also not just flush, it's also got a bit of a level down, so that way, you know, if anything falls with a bit more force as it's coming down, there will be a bit like an air pocket that can sort of hopefully act as like an airbag or something like that, you know, just little ideas that I thought might be cool here. Now you can tell the difference between where the support beams for the lift are and just the normal beams, because the normal ones have not been stripped, and I think that works really well because we've used the dark oak fences here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much how this is, oh, overshot the camera, pretty sure that's how it's going to sort of fit up there now. What I need to do is use this crafting table and make up a few more spruce trapdoors. Then we can go ahead and get ourselves a few more, chains, that sort of stuff, and actually build up the whole lift. So yeah, let me place in the flooring, go get some more iron, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I've grabbed myself a few grindstones to sort of act as maybe the gears and the pulley systems, as well as some chains. Now, what we can do is, as I can see here, I've sort of placed in these blocks here, which I wanted to sort of do a little bit of a pyramid up. So let's pyramid up. It's maybe easier to show. So if we come up here, place in some dirt, as you can see here, I'm just placing these as sort of distractions for the eyes, you could probably say, just so that when people look up here, they're not going to really see too much into the areas of which we don't want them to. Now, a lot of this will be filled up with kelp, as you can see, especially anything that runs along here, and then these ones will be taken up by the sort of filler space. It's just these little sections here that will show through where we have our grindstones properly hanging. So I want to come across one like this on each side. Probably would have been better off just to have left that one there. Just so that way we can place the grindstones upside down, and then we'll come back up and remove this dirt. And it'll hopefully look like, you know, the pulley systems are hanging upside down. So if we go down here, now we just chuck it up like so. Alright, now that those are up into place, we can start putting in our chains. As you can see, I did sort of decorate this with just some chests down there to sort of, you know, fill the part of this actually having things. And one thing I wasn't sure, how's it going to connect onto the grindstone? Ooh, is that a flush connect? I think it is. Look at that. So there we go. It gets pulled up into the the pulley system. Here is our chains. Oh, perfect. All right, let me go around, place all these. I might need a few more chains. I'm not too sure. However, though, this is going to work. So let me just get this done, and then we'll be right back. Oh, come on. This. Oh. Guys, I love that. I had just the right amount of chains. It's perfect. Alright, let's remove our dirt. No! What? I seem to have made a mistake. I think I'm going to have to place these back in with whatever block. Oh. Uh-oh. I made it! Oh, no, that's the wrong way. Okay. Fix. Jeez. Ooh. Oh. My parkour skills are getting better. That was cool. Oh, alright. So, yeah. Now all this needs is the kelp up and around it, and we have our lift system all finished. I think until we get our lanterns placed up and around, we should probably just whack in a few torches in the sort of related spots where they may go. Now, because this is, you know, an even, we don't have an exact center. I might just have them off-centered from each other, so one's on that side, as you can see. But that looks good. I'm happy with this. Now what we need to do is bring out sort of a section here where everything maybe gets sorted and then put into like a storage shelf over here, where then our path comes through. So if we just continue it on, so pathway, this is going to be sort of where people can come up to and collect their goods. Then they'll just leave back on out here. I'm really sorry for all the camera turning as I'm thinking. I'll just stop that now and just talk. It was driving me nuts. Alright, so I think what I need to do is now just work out where I want to put the shelvings over onto my right. No, my left. I really get confused trying to go backwards between myself. Anyway, over there behind where that lantern is and the torches, I want to build up a bit of a shelf storage, sort of like we did down at the docks. And then over on this other side here, maybe something a little bit more similar, but also a bit more open, because we can protect things behind us over that lantern side a bit more than we can things just in the open over here. So yeah, that's the plan. Let me try and work on that, and I might even actually just quickly try and get up a bit of kelp block so when we come back, that roof can at least be finished, because otherwise it's not too bad of a build. Alright guys, I'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, we are back, and I have managed to put in a nice pathway which really lays out the foundation for us to build up our storage area here where everything's going to be kept and stored until, you know, collected by its rightful owners or distributed amongst the villagers as need be. So what that means now guys is let's actually start building up these sections. And I had a thought, right, that if we go say a 2 chest wide, add in a few of these. Ooh, might need to just quickly change this up so it matches. Oh, that's going to be a bit of a drop, but it's okay. Alright, because we want the flushness. But if we add those in, grab ourselves out some of the jungle fences, and then go along like this, I think this might be a really cool sort of pattern design to have stored for our chests. Now obviously it'd be a bit easy if we go along the whole way, so I'm thinking that we might make this I reckon if we make it 4, it will just go flush in there, so let's just do it like so. And we can put our chests in and so on. So I think this is going to be a nice little idea for our storage of smaller items, because as you know, we do have space in there for crates and everything, so we do need to actually, you know, give them a bit of a representation up over here, and we might do that by this sort of stored area here. Now, in doing so, we might, yeah, okay, so I'll lose some of the path blocks that I've made, but that's okay. But we can, oh, I'm using the wrong, I was talking and started using the wrong trapdoors, but you get the point. We're going to put our crates over here again and set up a bit of a storage for those. We might have 1 or 2 just around here, a bit of a storage set up over here, and then I think we might even just make like a little checkpoint here, just a small little stand where somebody could stand by. We might have like a lectern with like a book on there, so you've got like the log of everything that comes and goes through this part. So let me quickly get all that built up for you guys, and then we shall be back into the final part, which is just terraforming this area to make it look all nice and pretty. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright guys, and just like that, we have now our 2 little storage areas. Our one where people can come in and actually, you know, collect their goods, have it all signed off in the book, and then one where the actual items are being stored once they're past the all clear stage. As you can see, we've got our lift that comes up, we've got some crates over here, which is sort of the sand that I typically use to sort of represent wheat or some sort of grain and that sort of food thingy, sort of, yeah, thing. But yeah, so you can see, words, as you can see, we have all of this set up here now, and I've really like how this roof here turned up, and I tried to stay away from something that would need the kelp. However though, I'm not too sure if I'm sold on this roof here. I'm leaving it for now, but I might change it in the future. I mean, like, I was trying to go with it just being like a little bit of a sunroofy sort of open space with a lot of air, but yeah, I'm just not too sure if I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. But I mean, these things happen, and you just sort of let it sit in the world for a little bit. If it still just doesn't agree with you, you know, you just don't like it, well then you just come back and change it. But for now, let's leave it on and work on our final part for today, which is cleaning up all of our mess along here and finishing off this nice area around here with a bit more terraforming and, ow, okay, kinetic energy from somewhere, and even including now a custom tree, which I think we should probably build something up around here, maybe have it a bit more of a larger tree than some of our other ones. We can continue to like have it sort of burrowing its way with its roots into the ground a little bit further on, so that might be a bit cool. But yes, I think that's what we might add on here, as well as going around with a bit of bone meal, which is also, you know, just a great way to sort of, bam, add a bit more life into these areas. We'll go through and light any areas that need be, so we might go back in and put a few more spruce fences anywhere that we think needs a bit more light that just doesn't quite get it yet. And yeah, so guys, let me just quickly add all of those sort of stuff there, and then we can come back in and do the final walkthrough. So yeah guys, I will see you in a moment. Alright guys, so as you can see behind me, we have a new lovely custom tree added into our world. I'm really actually happy with how the sort of size of this tree fits in. It's not one of those sort of lankier, oddly shaped branches trees that we kind of had like the one behind me here. It's much more fuller and a bit more of a, just like a large, nice representative tree. And as you can see, it's got a lot more flowers blossoming on it, so, and we can see a bit more fruit there growing on it from the mangrove leaves. And yeah, I'm really happy with just how it sort of turns up. We've also gone through and added in our bamboo as well as our rose bushes and red flowers to sort of tie everything in, and doing a bit more bow milling, as well as putting in more spruce fences with our lanterns, because remember, this is going to be a free roam village. We cannot let a free roam village exist if there's dark spots where zombies can spawn, because that's just going to be a huge problem for everything here. So we just make sure we keep lighting up everything. Alright, but guys, like, as sort of, yeah, that's all we did. We went all the way along. I've set up our way leading us off back to our entrance, to where I think we should continue on a path and go all the way back to spawn. You know, we should probably head back there and set up a little bit of like a campground or something, you know, just like, this is where we started our world, and we can have a pathway leading to where we are now, and it just allows us to have different options for more builds and to branch off in the future. As you can see though, I did run out of lanterns as we got to the final sort of, well, the main, yeah, actually, wow, this is the entrance, and I had to have torches. We will get lanterns back on, don't worry, we'll fix that up for next episode. But guys, speaking of next episode, we have managed to really, I think, complete a lovely job. We finished off what we couldn't finish off from last time, and that is our guardhouse section, where we can have a little bit of a holding cell for anyone that sort of has any bad intentions towards our village and our people, you know, any pillagers that might try and think they can get through. Yeah, we've just got a cell in there which we can hold them up for. We don't have the cell yet. I've still got to do all those decorations and that, but it's going to happen, don't worry. We did find out though that kelp is still just so annoying to grow, and I am starting to regret it for our roof choices, but hey, look, there's not that many more roofs left to build in this village, so hopefully we can just stick it out for a little bit longer. So yeah guys, I will have to come back through and finish the roof on the sort of the 2-story section of this house, purely because it's just taking so long for it to actually grow and then smelt up, and yeah, you've heard me whinge about it before. But as we continue on, we did not only just get this sort of setup finished in our village now, we did our quarantine cleared zone for any goods that we collect up from the docks, from any ships that have come in from any offshore villages or other lands, and that, you know, we're not saying that we can't exchange goods between villages and that, we just want to make sure that everything's safe here. And once it's passed through its sort of stages underneath the ground here, we can then bring it up through our lovely lift system. Haha, I remember the name. And yeah, and have everything stored away in these nice chests over here, as well as storage sort of crates of any goods that we might get. And we've also got built here a little bit of a log keep, so that way we can sign in and sign out any goods that may come and go through this part. I am still unsure if I actually like this roof, and I mean, honestly, I think, I don't know, I think it's bad, but I might change it up, and I need more kelp, but I just try to avoid it. So, you know guys, it's probably going to be changed before next episode or whatnot, but yeah, I do think that it's a good idea to try new things in your village, especially when you're trying to build and grow your ideas. But, you know, sometimes it's alright too to admit that, you know, this isn't good, let's go back and refix it up, or, you know, let's let it sit for a bit. And it has sat for a little bit with me, I still don't think I like it. But anyway, that is what it is, and I think what we have done today is really good. Like, I mean, if we just had enough kelp there, this would look absolutely terrific view heading on out of this village. Like, we've got the docks over here with a lovely house set up there. We've got a little bit of storage over here and everything. We've got our pond. As you can see, we've got down here the actual storage area of the... Why is there an egg and a chicken? Oh, this is a biohazard waiting to happen. Oh, crap. Anyway, so yeah, we've got a little storage down here, as well as another lectern and a book, so that way we can actually, you know, log what's in here, so that we can make sure our records match up there. But yeah, guys, I think that this is all that we have time for in today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and yes, I do apologise that there is a bit of time between them. It's just, I cannot believe that work has picked up as much as it has, and to be honest, guys, it's getting a bit boring. I want to be able to come back here and work on this world and, you know, put out more videos for you guys, but unfortunately, I've just got to wait it out until the holidays, and then we can get a bit more stuff going. So for everyone that's stuck around and this far in the video, thank you very, very much. I hope you guys have enjoyed everything, and I hope you guys understand my pain of the kelp roofs that we just cannot finish in this episode. But yeah, guys, yeah, I think I've said everything I needed to say. I am very appreciative of all of you who have stuck around for this, and yeah, until next time,